Retreat series, Dhamma talk number 39. Whenever one is practicing to get this supreme kind of kusala, in that process, one needs a mental factor called determination or resolution. Okay? In Pali, aditana. That is one mental factor one requires if one is practicing to get a supreme kind of kusala, karma kusala. So in here we are practicing Satipatthana Vipassana. And when we are practicing Satipatthana Vipassana, we are developing a certain kind of mental states, which we all know or must know. Okay? Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Faith, effort, mindfulness, mental concentration, and wisdom. These are the ones we are developing. But in here, if you look at the scripture, there are many ways, many people use it to develop these things. Some people develop one by one, or whichever one that they prefer or they like to do. Just an example would be, let's say some people want to build a good faith system, or saddha, you can call it. And what do they do in some practice? They practice a devotion method, devotion, recitation, praising, chanting, devotion towards whatever that your objective is. The devotion method, and they specialize and they build saddha. Okay, what they are saying is simply we are practicing devotion method. But practicing devotion method, what is the result of it? The result is to have faith into it, whichever one you are looking for. And let's say there are people, other system doing it. Okay, some of you or all of you are aware of, like in India, like sadhu and fakirs. They practice extreme, they said. They might starve themselves, or they might stand on one leg, or they might stand on one leg with another leg in many different positions, or even put it over the neck. They might stare at the sun, and they just practice and practice. They will practice yoga or many different types so that they can contact and master the body in any way they like to put in. That is the practice. But why are they practicing this? They are practicing that, from my point of view, to have the effort, viriya, developing viriya to the extreme. Without that kind of extreme effort, one cannot master these techniques. So there are many different ways to practice these things. And some people, they like to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness, what do? They try many different, various ways, okay, to develop their memories, the mind pattern, their techniques and method. And some people want to become very skillful in mental concentration. There are many practices, things that we are familiar to are anapanasati, in-breath, out-breath, or kasina, they will stare or gaze at many different objects, color, circle, and so on. Or they might draw diagrams, mandala technique, they might chant words or phrases, mantra technique. What is that? It is they are practicing these techniques and methods to develop concentration, absorption to that state. And so on. And some people, they like to have a very wisdom. They study, they practice, they learn with the teachers, the best of the teachers, and the guidance, scriptures, Bibles, Quran, they study in detail. That's how they build wisdom. So, many people use many different techniques to develop, to become skillful, one or the other, which they desire for the wisdom, or for concentration, or for devotion. So many techniques. That's how people practice to get a certain mental state or what they want to develop. So in Buddhism too, you practice. But in Buddhism, you practice is for the Buddhists to have, to develop, to attain the objective, which is the freeing yourself, freedom from all form of suffering. That is the objective. To get that objective, Buddhists have to practice too. You cannot get it for free. But to get that result, Buddhists has to develop that belief system, faith, belief, confidence. They have to practice the effort. They have to practice the mindfulness, sati, mental concentration, and also wisdom. They have to practice everything. Only if you practice everything all rounded, then you will get the desired objective, freedom from all form of suffering. And if one is developing, there are great Buddhist monks. They just go in and practice in forest, samatha, anapana, to the point of absorption, and even to abhinyan, to the psychical power. Their whole life, they might think. And some people practice devotion, chanting, reciting all the sutras again and again, the Buddha's quality again and again, offering flowers, food, and all sort of offering, and so on. And they become very powerful in their own field, but never enough to attain the release from the suffering. The Buddhists have many techniques too. Even in meditation, kasina technique, asubha technique, marana techniques, and so on. And if one is practicing one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one will never reach to the point of releasing oneself from all form of suffering. Because just to master one, it takes a long time and it is very hard and arduous. That kind of path you have to follow. So in here, for the Buddhists is you have to develop faith or belief or saddha. How much do you have to develop? You have to develop that saddha so that it becomes very firm and strong. Very strong and steadfast. Okay, you must have that very strong and steadfast faith or belief. Of course, in what? For Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And also effort. Buddhists have to develop this effort, diligent effort, not ordinary effort. Diligent effort, ardent effort, superhuman effort, heroic effort. To that kind of degree one has to develop. Okay? That is the effort. And mindfulness. And the mindfulness too. How much mindfulness you have to develop so that it become consistent, constant, no break, no gap, continuous. Must be ability to maintain that much. That much you have to develop that mindfulness. And then mental concentration. Mental concentration is you have to be very penetrative, very deep and very penetrative into the object that is arising at the moment, not on any other thing. On the object that is arising at the moment, you have to go deep, penetrative. Okay? And not only penetrative, you have to be, that samadhi concentration has to be standing strong and firm with the object. Cannot waver, cannot go afloat, cannot disperse. Okay? That kind of level of samadhi you have to develop. But this one is, we are developing a kanika samadhi. And then wisdom or panya. We have to develop this one, the understanding. Let's use the word understanding. The understanding must be grounded and then firm and strong. To that level, you have to develop all these 5 mental faculties. We know what we call pinching dariya. Okay? 5 controlling mental faculties. One must develop to that level. So in here, to be able to develop these things, okay, to that level, okay, you are developing, or whether one is developing only one to specialize, become the master of that one mental state. Regardless which one, you need one mental factor that is called Satipatthana. You must be determined, you must be resolute. Determination and resolution is a must. What is determination and resolution? Once it is determined, you never surrender. You never surrender. You never give up. Okay? Whether your life or to surrender, you will choose your life to give up. That kind of determination, just to that point. So, resolute mind. Okay? For those 5 mental factors, for a Buddhist to develop to the point of the degree that we have just described, the yogi must practice with determination so that these 5 become strong and firm. Strong and firm. In Pali it's called bala. Become pincha bala. Strong and firm. That kind of determination is required to practice so that one would be able to free oneself from all form of suffering. So, we have already started. If we are practicing one at a time here and there and specialize, you won't even master one mental state to become the master even in a lifetime. But here, Buddha, he knows the predicament. Because of that, he taught us a very simple, very precise, but with full clarity, simple, precise, and clear Dhamma. Okay? Not only that it is simple, clear, and precise, it is a very effective. This Dhamma is very effective. And also, it can produce the result in a short period of time. So Buddha structure a method, a Dhamma, which is very simple, precise, clear, very effective, and produce result in a short time. Well, that is what we all want in everything that we do. And here, so here the Buddha said, okay, always in a scripture say, hey bhikkhu, and I was like, hey monks, okay, oh bhikkhu, once who stand firm and strong, okay, on one Dhamma, O, capital O-N-E, one. One who stand firm and strong on one Dhamma. Okay. That one Dhamma, if you develop that one Dhamma, all other 5 Dhammas, which means the Panchendriya, 5 controlling mental faculties. Okay? There's a way monks can practice one Dhamma only. And if you practice that one Dhamma, the other 5 Dhammas will automatically come to be and become established by itself. That is the statement, the opening of the Buddha when we say that. And in Pali, okay, this one Dhamma, O-N-E-1, is called Eko Dhammo. Very simple. Eka is one. Dhammo is Dhamma. That's it. That's why I translate it as one Dhamma. It's not written in the book like one Dhamma, but I make it straight translation. Eko Dhammo, one Dhamma. So, if you practice this one Dhamma, automatically all the other 5 Dhammas which we need, which is necessary for one to release from all form of suffering, will come to become established and developed. That's it. And if you practice this one Dhamma, okay, the result will be attained in a short period, and it will be very effective. And the faith will develop. Okay. First and foremost is we start with the faith. If you practice this Dhamma, faith will be developed. But it will be developed correctly and tangibly, because faith is the foundation to start to develop all these things. Faith will be developed, but you must develop faith correctly and also based on tangibility. That is the way one need to approach. And how do you develop the faith in this one Dhamma, the way he expresses? It must first and foremost based on cause and effects. Okay? Everything you are approaching, even though we say faith, belief, or you can even say blind belief or confidence, the Buddha started with the word. When you are exploring, investigating that, one must believe based on cause and effect. That's number one. And also it must be logically grounded, not just cause and effect. You have to make sure that whatever approach that you are doing is logically grounded. And also it must be in the nature of non-violence. No violence is a part of this exploration or investigation. And it must be wholesome, and it must be beneficial. These are the grounds that is set in when we are investigating. To believe into something, to have faith in something, to have saddha in something, that's how one starts. Okay? Cause and effect, logically grounded, non-violent is a must. Must be wholesome, and then there must be a benefits, proper benefits. That is the way one starts to explore if you want to have a faith or belief into something. He's not saying you must believe. Even in the Buddha and his teaching, that is the approach. He tells his monks or anybody who is interested to study and explore. And also it must be a direct, not second hand, not third hand, not hand me down. It must be a direct approach. You personally have to go and face it. Direct approach, and whatever you are exploring must be a natural phenomenon. Okay? Natural, not a man-made, not an artificial. You must directly investigate a natural phenomenon. And if you approach that way, whatever view you come out of it will be the correct. It will be the correct result will produce. So that is how the Buddha started with his one Dhamma. One Dhamma is he gives you the premises or the basis, the facts, how one need to approach that Dhamma. You just explore. And if you do that, you will get whatever result you get, whatever view you get, whatever opinion you get out of will be the correct one. And if that's the case, you must yield. You must yield to all other, your pet's project or pet's belief or your point of view, whatever you may have before. Okay? That result will be contradicting to your previous belief. And if that's the case, you must yield to this. From your pet projects, no pet projects. You must abandon it. The key thing is nothing arises without cause. Okay? Everything is, whatever the result there is, there's a cause. And if there is a cause, there's an effect. That is the universal law. Okay? Universal law in the world of nama and rupa, in the world of mind and matter. Nothing arises without a cause. So now we are approaching this, whatever we want to believe or we believe in, with cause and effect. And even though you are approaching with cause and effect, even though you are getting result, if your cause and effect, your exploration, your intensity of exploration is superficial, if it is superficial, your result will not be dead on 100% correct. It may be about 70-80% correct, but you will not get the 100% answer. So it must not be a superficial investigation. Thorough and detailed investigation. So if you say that, automatically the idea of supreme beings and powerful beings and creators and all these assumptions that we cannot identify or verify, all these point of views are go out of the window. Okay? We are not saying which is right or wrong. This is how the Buddha's approach is. By approaching this way, anything that you cannot prove, okay, verify, all go out of the window, such as the concept of God and Supreme Being, and so on. So, in this process, now we are investigating. This one Dhamma give you how to investigate and give you a pointers how to investigate. So when you are investigating, when you are doing this process, number one, it is desire. Okay? Desire must be very strong. In other words, the objective that you are following or the goal that you are looking for, you must have a great desire to have it. In other words, let's say this goal is to uncover the truth. That desire to uncover the truth must be supremely strong. That's number one, desire. Desire to get the truth, or you can call it the true nature of mind and matter, or you can call it the three characteristics, okay? Anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, and non-self are universally constant in all mind and matter. These are the objectives, these are the goals, and you must have a great desire to have these goals or objectives, to uncover yourself, to know. Okay? And to do that, after you get the desire, you collect facts, all the facts. And once you got all the facts, put the facts into the logical sequence. Put fact into logical sequence. And that is the first stage. Desire. With that desire, you collect facts and you put it into the logical sequence. And then after that, once you have all these things, you have received or you have created a firm and solid ground to go into detailed investigation. You haven't started detailed investigation yet. You collect facts, put into logical sequence, and then once you have that, you have a very firm ground to proceed your investigation in a detailed manner. And when you go into the detailed manner, you must go step by step, not jumping out here and then, oh, I like this one, I like that one, I think. And we have a little desire or craving or pet thing, you want to know this right away. No, you have to abandon all these things, step by step, sequence by sequence. You must investigate the details. And all that you do is simply investigate the details on the firm ground that the facts you have collected. By doing so, the truth will unfold by itself. The truth will unfold by itself. And these outcomes, as we have said, whenever the outcomes come in, we have mentioned that before, we have a preconceived idea, we have a pet concept, we have a favorite little saying. They might be exactly the same what you discover, they might be different. And if it is different, you must yield to the result that you have investigated. That is always the case, always the case. That is how we are shedding the wrong view. We have all the views, and these wrong view, and we call it wrong view because the new view or the new system phenomenon that we are getting is investigated directly by you, and everything is step by step. No presumption, no premises, no preconceived idea. For that reason, we have to yield. In other words, put it in a different way, we are shedding a wrong view, one wrong view after the other, based on our personal experiences and result. And if you do that, what happens is, the view that you have now is very strong and very firm. Okay? The result is very strong and very firm. In other words, in a scriptural sense, you have attained, you have obtained very strong and firm saddha. Saddha in a powerful level, bala saddha. Okay. In other words, we have saddha, we have faith, we have belief at the beginning too. But when we go through these whole processes, then suddenly our faith level is very strong. That's what we call the bala. Strong and firm saddha is established. Only now we have the strong and firm. When we have strong and firm, what it does mean? That belief is unshakable, immovable. Somebody might come and tell you something different other than that, but you might smile, you might not argue, but your point of view cannot be changed. Unshaken, unmovable belief is developed. That is called strong and firm faith. That is the first step. And to be able to get that, okay, what do we need? That whole process must be done with resolute mind, aditana, we go back there. That mental factor, the whole thing, that aditana is with you all the time. In other words, you are doing this with never surrender attitude, aditana. Okay? Without that aditana, you cannot establish it. You have to have this. So, this is the approach Buddha teaches us. In a modern day, what we do from reading, we do from listening, we do from discussion, we do from debate, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? And these things, you can never really uncover the real truth, ultimate truth. They might be close enough. Even if one attains the jhanic consciousness, jhanic consciousness is a very strong and powerful and pure. Pure to the point of there is no lobha and no dosa. But still, the grasping on existence, moha maintains. Regardless, very powerful and strong and pure. And that jhanic consciousness can cut through most of the problem in the world. They can see through it. And the Buddha said, even the jhanic consciousness cannot see the ultimate truth of mind and matter. It might be close to, but you cannot. That's exactly the Buddha's work. Even the jhanic understanding or wisdom with the jhanic consciousness cannot penetrate the problem of mind and matter to the 100% level. So in here, investigation, we investigate nama and rupa, mind and matter. That's it. When we investigate nama and rupa, mind and matter, now the Buddhas go a little more detail. You must Before he simply say direct, now he say, when you are investigating nama or rupa, you must investigate them while it is arising. While it is arising, when it is becoming. In other words, at the present moment. You can call it while it is arising, while it is happening, while it is taking place, or at the present moment. Only then you have a chance to uncover the real truth. But if it's not at the moment that is arising, you will never understand 100% of the nature of the truth. So become more detailed. That is become moment-to-moment investigation. That's how Buddha taught us. You must investigate it while it is arising. And also, when you are investigating it, you start to understand the nature of its arising and the nature of its passing away. That's the first step. The first major milestone that you get. Okay? Details we have talked about it, but in here is the overall basis. Arising and passing away. And when you have the rapid succession, in other words, if you can see the arising and passing away of objects, one after the other without a break in a rapid succession. When you have the rapid succession, at that moment, the seeing or understanding has become very strong and firm. When you see the rapid succession of arising and passing away, at that moment, in a different presentation, you are directly experiencing the anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanent, suffering, and non-self, directly, at the moment. That's what is happening. And when you have that level, that's just the first milestone. Don't think that's the end. You are understanding anicca, dukkha, anatta. At that moment, you have indriya. Indriya means you have the governing power. You have the controlling power of these five mental states. Okay? You practice in such a way, you begin to see the arising and passing away of the objects one after the other in a rapid succession, and the present moment, and if you have got that, you have achieved the governing power of the five mental states. Five controlling powers, indriya, you got it. And at that moment, again, that faith, saddha. Saddha in what? Saddha in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha become very strong again. Before you believe in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, during the process you believe, but suddenly when you come to that stage, your saddha become exponentially increased. Okay? Before we even talk about unwavering, but here is even stronger and stronger. So in here, from the teaching, we understand saddha, faith or belief, is not a constant mental state. It is always changing, always changing. It can be changing to the stronger and stronger and firmer state. With what you are investigating and what you have discovered, increase your faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha even more. When you have come to that, what happened is, suddenly all your mental faculties. Before we are only talking about saddha, faith. When you do that, to be able to do that, you have to apply the diligent effort. Without the diligent effort, you cannot get that. We are basing only on one word again and again, saddha, 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 saddha. But to be able to develop that, there is another factor is walking silently at the back. That is viriya, effort. Effort has been diligently churning and churning and churning. We don't talk about that, but it is walking. And also sati, mindfulness. Mindfulness is to be able to see arising and passing away in a rapid, quick succession. That means your sati, mindfulness, momentum is in a very, very strong state. You are not developing separately. And our presentation is focused on one Dhamma and basing on the variables of the faith, saddha only. And then at that moment, what happened? We are developing viriya at the same time. We are developing mindfulness at the same time. And also samadhi at the same time. Because automatically, once you have a rapid succession of arising and passing away with clarity, that cannot be established without concentration. So concentration is also developing at the same time. All the mental factors, you are not developing one at a time. You are developing, everything is going, because one cannot go without the other. A chariot drawn by the 5 big horses, everybody is pulling. That's why the chariot is moving ahead of all others, because all 5 are moving. It is not one is moving and the other is not. But it's the charioteer, the determination of pushing and gaining, uncovering the truth. That's the making difference. So concentration is already developing there, and everything is growing and growing larger and larger, bigger and bigger. And all the 5 mental states starting to reach to the governing power stage. In other words, you have the control of each and every 5 of the mental state. These 5 mental states govern all other mental states, govern all other wholesome mental states. All other wholesome mental states come under the rule, under the governance of these 5 mental states. That is the state 1 reach. Governing power. And at that time, the mind is very firm, very strong, unwavering. In that one Dhamma. It's all that it's in that one Dhamma. You are not doing this or you are not doing that. You are simply investigating based on how Buddha instructed, and that is the one Dhamma, Eko Dhammo. In that one Dhamma, you are very strong and very firm. Because that one Dhamma is self-assessed, self-assured. You assessed that Dhamma, you assured that Dhamma, not anybody, yourself. It started with yourself, carry out everything by yourself, and you have reached here by yourself. This is the self-assessed and self-assured Dhamma, this one Dhamma. And at that moment, you have this 5 controlling mental factors. Just from that one Dhamma, you are not developing individually and separately. And once you have that, what happened? You will never be in doubt. If that's the case, you will never be in doubt. And you will never be lazy or let's use this one, lazy. You will always be bold and courageous. If you have this 5 Dhamma, you will never be in doubt, and you will not be lazy, but always bold and courageous. And also, you will not be restless. And also, you will not be heedless. And then you will not be confused. What it is basically, again, these are the result of the 5 controlling mental state. What is doubt? Doubt is the opposite of faith, saddha. Okay. What is lazy? Opposite of viriya. What is heedless? Opposite of mindfulness. What is restlessness? Opposite of concentration. And what is confusion? Opposite of piññā. When you have piññā, you have no confusion. So in other words, all these mental states are gone. You will have no doubt. You will always be bold and courageous. You will be always hateful, and you will never be restless, and you will never be confused. We just put it in a modern, simple words, what Buddhists taught us. These are the results we attain. And also, this is just simply straight on, and also give rise to, okay, self-powered, basically self-power. Not through the effort of others or efforts of indirect causes. It's a self-powered actions to avoid akusala. Okay. In other words, prompting and not prompting. I'm trying to turn it into a different way. Self-power is no prompting. Spontaneous, voluntarily doing what? Avoiding all akusala, all unwholesome state. And then doing all kusala, all the wholesome states, for yourself and all others, that automatically happen. That's what it means by self-powered. Okay. Avoid all akusala, do all kusala for the benefit of oneself as well as the public. And it happens spontaneously. You don't have to push and grind or prompted to do it. That is what it's achieved by developing that one Dhamma. So in here, the Buddha talked about this thing. Okay? What it is it is very vital to practice this one Dhamma, because this practice of the one Dhamma will get you to conquer yourself. Self-victory, victory on yourself, conquering yourself. And this one Dhamma will take you there. When you conquer yourself, that is the time you become selfless, and that is the time you start doing for others. That is conquering self in the practical action. Another way of conquering self is you understand there's no such thing as self or a soul. That's a different way of putting it. And a straightforward way of putting it is, you don't think for yourself, you only do and live for others. That automatically come in. So this one Dhamma is, you can call it one of a kind Dhamma, or the only Dhamma, or one Dhamma. And popularly in translation, they also translate it as the only way. Okay, when they put in that kind of the only way, there's a lot of controversial and debating and attacking, agreeing, not agreeing, and so on. So let's leave that the only way, Eko Dhammo, the one Dhamma, one of a kind Dhamma, the only Dhamma, that will bring you to this kind of a final state where you understand self and able to avoid unwholesome, doing wholesome, and always for the benefits of others. That kind of a self-sacrifice state is reached with this Dhamma. So this Dhamma is very precious, and you don't have to develop many different techniques and many different methods. All of them come under this one instruction. Let's simplify it, observing every object that is arising at the moment, one after the other, one after the other. What is that? You are heedful. You are heedful. You don't forget. You are heedful. And what is that you are heedful? In a Pali Buddhist word. What is that one Dhamma in Pali? It's called appamada, heedfulness. So appamada, heedfulness, is the one Dhamma that Buddha taught us. If you are heedful in the way that Buddha has described it, you do not need to practice this method or that method, or develop this power or that power, or become skillful in this technique or mental state. This one Dhamma will give you all the 5 Dhammas that is necessary to release oneself from all form of suffering effectively and in a very short time. May all of you be able to practice heedfulness, appamada, and rejoice the result of this appamada as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddham bhujami. Dhammam bhujami. Sangham bhujami.